My cousin Danny called me on a Tuesday. "Hey Rich, need a favor?" I was in the garage, sorting through boxes of old tax records. My wife Linda had been after me for months to clear out the clutter. I wedged the phone between my shoulder and ear. "What kind of favor?" "Just need you to witness something. A formal meeting, family thing." I stopped sorting. "What kind of family thing?" "Legal stuff. Transferring some property between me and the kids. You know how it is. Need an independent witness. Won't take more than an hour." "The kids?" He meant my son Tyler and my daughter-in-law Jessica. They'd been talking about investing in real estate together with Danny for the past year. I'd heard bits and pieces at Sunday dinners, but I never paid much attention. Real estate wasn't my world. I'd spent 30 years managing a warehouse distribution center. I understood logistics, not property transfers. "When?" I asked. "Thursday, 2 o'clock, downtown. I'll text you the address." "Can't Linda do it?" "They specifically asked for you. Something about you being on the original paperwork from last year. I don't know, man. Lawyers are particular." I didn't remember any original paperwork. But then again, I signed a lot of things. Tyler had power of attorney for some of my accounts after I had that heart scare 2 years ago. Made sense at the time. He was good with numbers, had an MBA from a decent school. I trusted him. "Fine," I said. "Text me the address." "Thanks, Rich, I owe you one." He hung up before I could ask anything else. I went back to the boxes. Linda came down an hour later with iced tea. "Danny needs me to witness something Thursday," I told her. She set the glass on my workbench. "Witness what?" "Some property transfer with Tyler and Jessica." Her mouth tightened. Linda had never warmed to Jessica. She was always polite at family gatherings, but I could see the calculation in her eyes whenever my daughter-in-law walked into a room. Linda called it her lawyer radar. She'd worked as a paralegal for 15 years before the firm downsized. "Did Danny say what property?" "No, just that it's legal and they need an independent witness." "You're not independent. You're Tyler's father." "I think they mean independent from Danny." She picked up one of the tax folders, studied it, then put it back down. "Did you sign anything last year about property?" "I don't remember. Maybe." "Maybe isn't good enough, Rich." I looked at her. "It's Tyler. He's not going to screw me over." She didn't say anything, just picked up the empty glass and went back upstairs. Thursday came fast. I wore a button-down shirt and khakis. The address Danny sent was a mid-sized office building downtown, the kind with a lobby directory and a security desk that didn't actually check IDs. I took the elevator to the 4th floor. The office belonged to Whitman and Associates. I'd never heard of them. The reception area was modern. Glass tables, leather chairs, abstract art that looked like someone had sneezed paint onto canvas. A young woman at the desk smiled professionally. "Richard Brennan?" "That's me." "Conference room B, down the hall, second door on your right." I walked down a corridor lined with more abstract art. Through the glass walls of the conference rooms, I could see people in suits having serious conversations. Conference room B was at the end. I opened the door. Tyler sat at the head of a long table. Jessica sat to his right. Danny was across from her, looking at his phone. A man in a gray suit sat at the far end, presumably the lawyer. There were 2 other people I didn't recognize, a middle-aged woman with a tablet and an older man with a leather portfolio. "Dad," Tyler said, standing up. "Thanks for coming." He shook my hand. His grip was firm, professional. He'd always been good at that, the corporate Polish. Even as a kid, he'd known how to work a room. Jessica smiled. "Hi, Richard." She never called me Dad. I'd stopped expecting it. I sat down next to Danny. "What's this about?" The lawyer cleared his throat. "Mr. Brennan, I'm Charles Whitman. We're here to finalize a property transfer that was initiated last year. Your presence is required as a witness to confirm certain agreements." What agreements? Tyler leaned forward. Dad, we talked about this. The investment property in Riverside. You were part of the initial discussions. I didn't remember any discussions about Riverside. I'd been to Riverside once for a high school football game when Tyler was 16. That was it. I don't. November 15th, Jessica said smoothly. We met at the house. You, me, Tyler, and Danny. We went over the terms of the partnership agreement. November 15th. I tried to remember. November was a blur. Linda's mother had died in October. We'd spent most of November dealing with the estate. I might have been at the house. I might have nodded along to something while my mind was elsewhere. Okay, I said slowly. Whitman opened a folder and slid a document across the table. This is the transfer agreement. It assigns your share of the property to Tyler Brennan and Daniel Brennan, effective immediately upon final witness confirmation. I stared at the paper. It was dense with legal language, clauses and subclauses, party of the first part, hereinafter referred to as. My eyes skimmed over words that meant nothing. At the bottom was a signature line. It had my name on it, and a signature that looked close enough to mine to make my stomach drop. I looked up. I didn't sign this. The room went still. Tyler's expression didn't change. Dad? Yes, you did. Last November. We went through everything. I don't remember signing this. You signed it at the house, Jessica said. Her voice was calm, almost gentle. You were distracted. Linda's mom had just passed, but you signed it. I looked at Danny. He was staring at his phone, not meeting my eyes. Danny, I said. He glanced up. Yeah? Did I sign this? A pause. Too long. You were there, Rich. I saw you. My hands felt cold. I read the document again. It referenced dates, meetings, a property I'd never seen, a partnership I didn't remember joining, and a share. Apparently, I owned a share. Whitman cleared his throat. Mr. Brennan, this is simply a formality. The transfer has already been processed. We just need your verbal confirmation that you approve the terms. But I don't remember. Memory isn't the issue, Whitman said. The signature is valid. The dates are accurate. We simply need you to confirm for the record that you understood the terms when you signed. I looked at Tyler. He was watching me with an expression I'd seen 1,000 times before. Patient, like he was waiting for me to catch up. The same look he'd given me when I'd struggled to set up my email account, when I'd asked him to explain cryptocurrency, when I'd admitted I didn't understand half of what he did for a living. The look that said, "It's okay, Dad. I've got this." I don't know if I understood the terms, I said. Jessica's smile tightened. Richard, you asked questions. We answered them. You seemed satisfied. I don't remember. That's concerning, Whitman said. He exchanged a glance with Tyler. Tyler sighed. Dad, are you feeling okay? You've been forgetting things lately. I haven't been forgetting things. You forgot Mom's birthday last month. That was true. Linda had been upset, but I'd been distracted by work, by the new manager who kept changing the shift schedules. It wasn't memory loss. It was distraction. That's different, I said. Is it? Jessica's voice was soft, concerned. Tyler mentioned you've been having trouble with dates, appointments. You missed your last doctor's checkup. I had missed it, because Tyler had rescheduled it without telling me, saying the new time worked better with my work schedule, but I'd forgotten the new time. This is different, I said again. Whitman made a note on his legal pad. Mr. Brennan, if you're experiencing memory difficulties, we can adjourn and reconvene when you've had a chance to review your medical records. The way he said it, like I was already diagnosed, like this was expected. I looked around the table. Tyler, calm and patient. Jessica, concerned and supportive. Danny, still looking at his phone. The two strangers watching with professional detachment. And I realized, this wasn't a meeting. This was a performance. And I was the prop. I need to think about this, I said. Tyler nodded. Of course, Dad, take your time. We're not trying to rush you. But, Whitman said, the transfer is time-sensitive. If we don't finalize today, there are tax implications, significant ones. How significant? 6 figures. I looked at Tyler. 6 figures? It's complicated, Dad. Trust me, you don't want to deal with the IRS on this. Just confirm you signed it and we're done. Just confirm. Just agree. Just trust him. I stood up. I need to make a call. Dad, I need to call Linda. Jessica's expression flickered, just for a second. Then the concerned smile returned. Of course. Take all the time you need. I walked out of the conference room, down the hall, into the lobby. The receptionist smiled as I passed. Outside, the air was cold. I pulled out my phone and dialed Linda. She answered on the second ring. How'd it go? I need you to come downtown. What's wrong? I don't know yet, but something's wrong. A pause. Then, address? I gave it to her. She hung up without saying goodbye. I stood on the sidewalk and tried to remember November 15th, tried to remember a meeting at the house, a discussion about Riverside, a property I supposedly owned. Nothing. Just fog. 20 minutes later, Linda's car pulled up to the curb. She got out, still wearing her grocery store cashier uniform. She must have left mid-shift. What happened? I told her. The meeting, the document, the signature. She listened without interrupting. When I finished, she said, Did Danny sign anything? I don't know. Was anyone else there? From your family? No, just me. She looked up at the building. They needed you specifically. Yeah. Why? I didn't have an answer. She pulled out her phone and opened her calendar app. November 15th. What were we doing? I watched her scroll, then stop. We were at the funeral home, she said. All day, picking out the casket for my mom. My stomach went cold. We weren't home until almost 8, she continued, and you were exhausted. You fell asleep on the couch watching the news. I remembered now. The funeral home, the casket catalogs, the director with the soft voice and the practiced sympathy, Linda crying in the car on the way home. I wasn't at any meeting, I said. Linda looked at me. Then whose signature is on that paper? We went back inside together. Linda walked ahead of me, her cashier uniform making her look out of place in the glass and chrome lobby. I didn't care. I needed her there. The receptionist's smile faltered when she saw Linda. Ma'am, are you… I'm with him, Linda said, not stopping. We walked down the hall. I could see Tyler through the glass wall of the conference room. He was leaning back in his chair, relaxed, laughing at something Jessica said. Danny had put his phone away. I opened the door. Tyler looked up. His smile stayed, but his eyes changed. Dad, feeling better? Linda sat down next to me. She didn't introduce herself, didn't smile, just folded her hands on the table and stared at Whitman. Who are you? She asked. Whitman blinked. Charles Whitman. You're the lawyer. I got that. Who hired you? Tyler straightened in his chair. Linda, this is a private… Your father-in-law doesn't remember signing any documents. That makes it my business. Jessica's smile thinned. Linda, we understand you're concerned, but this is a formality. Richard already agreed to… Where's the original document? Linda asked Whitman. He hesitated. It's been filed with the county recorder. When? Last year, November 22nd. Linda pulled out her phone, opened her calendar, turned it to show the table. November 15th, we were at Riverside Memorial Funeral Home from 9 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. I have the receipt from the director. I have the credit card statement. I have the text messages I sent my sister that day. She set the phone down. Richard wasn't at any meeting. He was with me. All day. The room went quiet. Tyler looked at Jessica. Jessica looked at Whitman. Whitman looked at his notes. Danny cleared his throat. Maybe it was a different date. The document says November 15th, Linda said. Documents can have errors, Jessica said smoothly. The important thing is that Richard did sign. The date might be wrong, but the signature is valid. Linda picked up the document, studied the signature, then looked at me. That's not your signature, she said. It looks close, I said. It's not. The R is wrong. You always loop the bottom of your R. This one doesn't. She was right. I did loop the R, had since I was a kid. Some teacher had taught me that way, and it stuck. The signature on the document had a straight R. This is a copy, Tyler said. Sometimes copies distort things. The original signature is fine. Then show us the original, Linda said. It's filed with the county. Then we'll go to the county recorder. Tyler's jaw tightened. Just a fraction. Linda, you're making this more complicated than it needs to be. Good. Jessica leaned forward. Linda, I understand you're protective, but you're not a lawyer. You don't understand the legal implications of delaying this transfer. I was a paralegal for 15 years. I understand plenty. Jessica's smile didn't waver. Then you understand that questioning a filed document requires substantial evidence of fraud. Without that evidence, you're just creating problems for Richard, problems that could involve audits, investigations, legal fees. It was a threat. Polite, professional, but a threat. Linda stood up. Rich, we're leaving. Linda, Tyler started. We're leaving, she said again. And we're going to the county recorder, and if that signature doesn't match, we're going to the police. Whitman cleared his throat. Mrs. Brennan, I should warn you that making false accusations of fraud is a serious matter. It could expose you to civil liability. Then you better hope that signature matches. I stood up. Tyler did too. Dad, sit down. Let's talk about this. I think we're done talking, I said. You're making a mistake. Maybe, but it's my mistake to make. We walked out, down the hall, past the receptionist, into the elevator. Linda didn't say anything until we were in the parking garage. They forged your signature, she said. You don't know that. Yes, I do, and so do you. I unlocked my truck, sat inside. Linda got in the passenger seat. Why would Tyler do that? I asked. I don't know, but we're going to find out. We drove to the county recorder's office. It was in an old municipal building downtown, the kind with marble floors and high ceilings that echoed. The clerk was a tired-looking woman in her 50s. We need to see a filed document, Linda said. Property transfer, filed last November. The clerk handed her a form. Fill this out. There's a $5 fee. Linda filled it out, paid the fee. We waited. 20 minutes later, the clerk came back with a folder. Here you go. You can review it at the table over there. No photos, no removing documents. We sat at a wooden table that looked like it was from the 1970s. Linda opened the folder. The document was there. Same legalese, same dates, same terms. And at the bottom, a signature. Linda held it up to the light, compared it to a receipt I'd signed that morning for breakfast. It's not your signature, she said. It's close. Close doesn't matter. Look at the R. Look at the way the tail of the N curves. This is a copy of your signature. Someone traced it, probably from another document. I stared at the paper. She was right. The signature looked like mine, but it wasn't. It was like a photograph of my signature. Too perfect. Too careful. What property is this even for? I asked. Linda flipped through the pages, found the address. Riverside, industrial area, looks like a warehouse. How much is it worth? She read further. Purchase price last year was $250,000. Current assessed value is $320,000. And I supposedly own a share? According to this, you owned 40%. Tyler and Danny each owned 30%. Owned. Past tense. This document transfers your 40% to Tyler and Danny, 20% each. I did the math. 40% of $320,000 was about $130,000. I just gave away $130,000, I said. No, someone stole $130,000, and they used your name to do it. The clerk walked by. Linda waited until she was out of earshot. We need to talk to Tyler, alone, without Jessica. He's not going to admit anything. Maybe not, but we need to hear what he says. We drove to Tyler's house. It was in a new development on the east side of town, the kind with identical two-story houses and HOA regulations about mailbox colors. Tyler's car was in the driveway. So was Jessica's. I rang the doorbell. Jessica answered. She'd changed out of her business clothes into yoga pants and a tank top. She looked surprised to see us. Richard, Linda, this is unexpected. We need to talk to Tyler, I said. He's on a call. We'll wait. She hesitated, then stepped aside. Come in. The house was immaculate. White furniture, glass tables, everything looked like a showroom. We sat in the living room. Jessica didn't offer us anything to drink. Tyler came downstairs 5 minutes later. He'd changed too, jeans and a polo shirt, casual, relaxed. Dad, Linda, what's going on? We went to the county recorder, Linda said. Tyler's expression didn't change. And? The signature doesn't match. I think it does. I was a paralegal. I know how to compare signatures. That's not Richard's signature. Tyler sat down across from us. Linda, I respect your experience, but you're not a handwriting expert. Neither am I. If you really think there's a problem, we can hire an expert. Or you could just tell us the truth, I said. The truth is you signed the document. I was there. Danny was there. We all saw you. When? What date? He paused. I don't remember the exact date. It was last year. November 15th is what the document says. We were at a funeral home all day. Then it must have been a different day. Like I said, documents can have errors. Linda leaned forward. Tyler, I'm going to ask you once. Did you forge your father's signature? No. Did Jessica? No. Did Danny? No. His voice never changed, calm, patient, like he was explaining something simple to someone slow. Jessica sat down next to him, put her hand on his knee. Richard, Linda, I know this is confusing, but you have to understand. Tyler has been managing a lot of your affairs since your heart scare. Power of attorney, remember? Sometimes you sign things and don't remember. It's okay. It happens. I remember signing the power of attorney, I said. That was for emergencies, medical decisions, not property transfers. Actually, Jessica said, if you read the fine print, it covers financial decisions too. Linda stood up. Rich, we're leaving. Linda, please, Tyler said. Don't do this. Don't make this into something it's not. What is it then? A misunderstanding. Dad's been stressed. You've been stressed. Sometimes our memories aren't reliable when we're grieving. My memory is fine, I said. Is it? You forgot Mom's birthday. You missed your doctor's appointment. You left the stove on twice last month. I had left the stove on. Once. Not twice. And I'd caught it before anything happened. This is different, I said. Is it, though? Jessica's voice was soft, concerned. Richard, we love you. We're trying to help. But you need to consider the possibility that you're not remembering things correctly. Linda grabbed my arm. We're leaving. Now. We walked to the door. Tyler followed. Dad, wait. I stopped. I know you're upset. I get it. But if you keep pushing this, you're going to hurt yourself. Legally, financially. Do you understand? If you accuse us of fraud and you're wrong, it's going to cost you. A lot. And if I'm right? He didn't answer. We drove home in silence. Linda's hands were tight on the steering wheel. He's lying, she said. I know. What are we going to do? I don't know. At home, I sat in the kitchen while Linda made coffee. My phone buzzed. A text from Danny. "Rich, we need to talk. Can you meet me tomorrow?" I showed Linda. She read it and set the phone down. "Don't go alone," she said. "I won't." But I knew I would. Summer turned to fall. The leaves changed. The air got colder. Life moved forward like it always does. I stopped thinking about Tyler every day, then every other day. Eventually, he became just another fact of my life. I had a son. He'd betrayed me. We didn't talk. Linda and I settled into a new routine. Quieter, more careful with money. She picked up extra shifts at the store. I took on overtime at the warehouse when it was available. We didn't talk about Tyler unless we had to. Then October came. Linda's phone rang one night while we were having dinner. She looked at the screen, frowned. "It's Jessica." "Don't answer it." She answered it anyway, put it on speaker. "Linda, I'm sorry to bother you, but I need your help." Linda's expression didn't change. "With what?" "It's Tyler. He's in the hospital." I set down my fork. "What happened?" Linda asked. "Car accident. He's okay, he's alive, but he has a concussion, some broken ribs. They're keeping him overnight for observation." "I'm sorry to hear that. I need someone to stay with me at the hospital. I'm scared and I'm alone and—" "Call your parents," Linda said. "They're in Florida. They can't get here until tomorrow." "Call a friend." "Linda, please. I know things have been difficult. But Tyler's your husband's son, and I'm carrying his grandchild. I just need someone with me tonight." Linda looked at me. I shook my head. "I'm sorry, Jessica, but we can't help you." "Linda, I hope Tyler's okay, but you're on your own." She hung up. I waited for her to say something, to explain, to justify. She just went back to eating her dinner. "You think I was too harsh?" she asked. "No." "Good, because I'm not falling for it again." "Falling for what?" "Whatever game they're playing now." "Maybe it's not a game. Maybe Tyler really is hurt. Maybe. Or maybe they're trying to pull us back in, make us feel guilty, make us vulnerable." I thought about that. It sounded paranoid. But then again, we'd earned the right to be paranoid. The next morning, I drove by the hospital, just to check. Tyler's car was in the parking lot, Jessica's too, so he was really there. I didn't go inside, just drove home. Linda was in the kitchen. "Did you check?" "Yeah, he's there." "Are you going to visit?" "No." "Good." But it nagged at me. All day, the idea that my son was in a hospital and I wasn't there. That night, I drove back, parked in the lot, sat there for 20 minutes, then I went inside. The nurse at the desk told me Tyler's room number, 3rd floor. I took the elevator. The door to his room was half open. I could see him lying in bed, bandages on his head, IV in his arm. Jessica was asleep in a chair next to him. I almost left, but Tyler saw me. "Dad?" I stepped inside. "How are you feeling?" "Like I got hit by a truck." "What happened?" "Someone ran a red light. T-boned my car, passenger side. Lucky I was alone." Jessica stirred, woke up, saw me, didn't smile. "I'll give you two some privacy," she said. She left, closed the door. Tyler adjusted his bed, winced. "Thanks for coming," he said. "I almost didn't." "I know." We sat in silence for a moment. "The baby's real this time," he said. "In case you were wondering, Jessica's due in March." "Congratulations." "Thanks." More silence. "I've been thinking a lot," Tyler said. "About everything. The accident kind of put things in perspective." "How so?" "I could have died. Some drunk driver runs a red light and I'm gone. And what would I have left behind? A mess, broken relationships, regrets. Everyone has regrets. Not like mine." He looked at me, really looked at me, not the corporate polish, not the practiced charm, just exhaustion. "I'm sorry, Dad. For real this time. No games, no angles. I'm just sorry." I wanted to believe him, but I'd heard it before. You said that after the hearing, I said. I know, and I meant it then too. But I kept falling back into old patterns, control, manipulation, trying to win. And now? Now I'm tired. Tired of fighting, tired of lying, tired of being the guy who always has an angle. Then stop being that guy. I'm trying. The therapy's helping. But it's hard. You spend your whole life thinking the only way to succeed is to be smarter, faster, more ruthless than everyone else. And then you realize all you've done is alienate everyone who matters. He looked at the IV in his arm. I want my kid to have a grandfather, he said. Not because I need something from you, but because kids should know their grandparents, and because I don't want them to grow up thinking family is something you use and discard. I didn't know what to say. I'm not asking for forgiveness, Tyler said. I know I don't deserve that, but maybe we could start over, slowly, carefully, see if we can build something that's not based on lies. I stood up. I need to think about it. Fair enough. I walked to the door, stopped. Tyler? Yeah? If you're serious about changing, prove it. Not with words, with actions. Stay out of my life. Stop trying to control things. Just be honest. That's all I need. I can do that. We'll see. I left. Linda was waiting up when I got home. How is he? She asked. Banged up, but he'll be fine. Did he apologize again? Yeah. Do you believe him this time? I don't know. She turned off the TV. Rich, I love you, but you can't keep giving him chances. Not after everything he's done. I know. Do you? Because every time he apologizes, you soften. You want to believe he's changed, and every time he proves he hasn't. People can change. Some people. Not Tyler. I sat down next to her. Maybe you're right, but he's my son. I can't just write him off. You don't have to write him off, but you don't have to let him back in either. There's a middle ground. What middle ground? Polite distance, birthday cards, occasional phone calls, acknowledgement without involvement. That sounds lonely. It's safer than what we've been doing. She was right. I knew she was right. But it still hurt. The next few weeks were quiet. Tyler was released from the hospital, went home, didn't call. Jessica sent a thank you text to Linda. Thank you for respecting our space. Linda deleted it without responding. November came around again. 1 year since the whole thing started. I thought about the meeting in that conference room, the lawyer asking me to confirm a signature I'd never made. The way Tyler had looked at me like I was the problem. It felt like a lifetime ago. Then I got a call from Delaney. Rich, we need to talk. About what? Tyler's filed something new. You need to see this. I met him at his office. He handed me a document. It was a lawsuit, against me. Tyler was suing for defamation, claiming I'd damaged his reputation by spreading false accusations of fraud. He wanted $200,000 in damages. This is insane, I said. It's also probably bullshit, but he filed it, and we have to respond. How much is this going to cost? 20, 30,000 to fight it properly. I didn't have 20,000. Not again. What if I don't fight it? He wins by default, gets a judgment against you, can garnish your wages, put a lien on your house. I sat down, put my head in my hands. He's never going to stop, I said. No, probably not. What do I do? Delaney leaned back in his chair. You fight, or you walk away from everything. Bankruptcy, start over. I'm 62 years old, I can't start over. Then you fight. I went home, told Linda. She didn't cry, didn't yell. We're not fighting this, she said. We have to. No, we don't. We're done playing his game. We're done spending money we don't have on lawyers and courts and documents. We're done. Then what do we do? She looked at me. We end this, our way. What does that mean? It means we stop reacting, stop defending, stop letting Tyler control the narrative. We go on offense. How? She pulled out her laptop. started typing. We tell everyone what he did, every detail, every lie, every forged signature. We put it out there, public, undeniable. He'll sue us for that too. Let him. By the time he does, the damage will be done. His reputation will be destroyed. No one will trust him. No one will do business with him. He'll be finished. Linda, that's... What? Too harsh? Too vindictive? Rich, he tried to destroy us. He tried to take everything. Our money, our dignity, our sanity. And he's still trying. When does it stop? I don't know. It stops when we make it stop. She was right. I knew she was right. But I also knew what it would cost. Not in money, in something else. If we do this, I said, there's no going back. He'll hate us forever. He already hates us. He just pretends he doesn't. What about the baby? Our grandchild? We'll never meet that baby anyway. Jessica will make sure of it. I thought about that. Thought about never holding my grandchild, never seeing them grow up, never being part of their life. It hurt. But Linda was right. We were already cut out. Might as well go down fighting. Okay, I said, let's do it. We started by documenting everything. Every conversation, every email, every court filing, every lie Tyler had told. Linda built a timeline, a narrative, clear, factual, damning. She created a website, simple design, just text and scanned documents. The title was stark, How My Son Committed Elder Fraud. She wrote it like a legal brief. No emotion, no editorializing, just facts, dates, documents, proof. Tyler Brennan forged his father's signature on a property transfer document. Tyler Brennan transferred $130,000 without authorization. Tyler Brennan filed a fraudulent incompetency petition to silence his father. Tyler Brennan contested his own confession when it became inconvenient. Tyler Brennan filed a retaliatory lawsuit to intimidate his victim. Each claim was backed by evidence, scanned documents, email screenshots, court filings. At the bottom, she added, "If you're considering doing business with Tyler Brennan, you deserve to know who you're dealing with." She showed it to me before she published it. "Are you sure?" I asked. "No, but I'm doing it anyway." She hit publish. Then she shared the link. Everywhere. Facebook, LinkedIn, community forums, local business groups, real estate investment forums, anywhere Tyler's name might come up. Within 24 hours, it had been viewed 2,000 times. Within 48 hours, 5,000. Tyler called. I didn't answer. He left a voicemail. "Dad, what the hell are you doing? Take that website down, now." I deleted the voicemail. He called Linda. She answered, put it on speaker. "Linda, this is defamation. I'm going to sue you for everything you have." "Good luck with that. Everything on the site is true. Truth is an absolute defense against defamation." "It's out of context." "No, it's exactly in context. You committed fraud. I documented it. Take it down, or I'll get a court order." "Try it. I'd love to see you explain to a judge why you don't want the truth public." He hung up. Jessica called next, crying. "Linda, please. This is destroying us. Tyler's losing clients. His reputation is ruined. People are canceling meetings. How could you do this?" "The same way Tyler forged Rich's signature, by making a choice. This is cruel." "No. What's cruel is stealing from your father-in-law and then suing him when he fights back. We have a baby coming. How is Tyler supposed to provide for his family if no one will work with him?" "That's not my problem." Linda hung up. The next day, Tyler's lawyer sent a cease and desist letter. Legal threats, demands to remove the website, claims of irreparable harm. Linda forwarded it to Delaney. He called back laughing. "This is the weakest cease and desist I've ever seen. They're threatening to sue, but they can't. Everything on the site is documented fact. They'd lose." "So we ignore it?" Linda asked. "Completely." We did. The website kept spreading. Tyler's business partners started calling us, asking questions, wanting to verify facts. Linda answered every call, calm, professional, She sent them copies of documents, court filings, the confession Tyler had signed. One of Tyler's partners called him a liar to his face and dissolved their partnership. Another filed a lawsuit claiming Tyler had misrepresented his credentials. Tyler's world was collapsing, and I felt nothing. No satisfaction, no regret, just exhaustion. Linda was different. She was energized, focused. She added updates to the website. New documents, new evidence. She cross-referenced every claim Tyler made publicly and compared it to the facts. When Tyler posted on LinkedIn about integrity and trust in business, Linda screenshotted it and added it to the website with the caption, "Meanwhile, in reality, it was brutal. It was effective." By December, Tyler had lost 3 major clients. His property management company was hemorrhaging money. He'd had to sell the Riverside warehouse at a loss just to stay afloat. Jessica stopped calling. Tyler's calls became less frequent, then stopped altogether. Christmas came. We didn't hear from them. Linda made dinner, just the 2 of us. Quiet. Peaceful. "Do you think we went too far?" I asked. She considered it. "No, we went exactly as far as we needed to. He's broke now. His business is finished. Good. Maybe he'll learn something. Or maybe he'll just hate us forever. He already hated us. He just pretended he didn't." I couldn't argue with that. New Year's came. We watched the ball drop on TV, went to bed early. I thought about the past year, everything that had happened, everything we'd lost, everything we'd fought for, and I realized something. I didn't miss Tyler. I missed the idea of Tyler. The son I thought I had. The relationship I thought we had. But the real Tyler? The one who'd forged my signature and tried to gaslight me into thinking I was incompetent? I didn't miss him at all. January came. Cold. Gray. The kind of month that feels like it'll never end. Then I got a call from an unknown number. "Mr. Brennan?" "Yes?" "This is Detective Sarah Mills with the County Fraud Division. I'm calling about a complaint we received regarding your son, Tyler Brennan." My stomach dropped. "What kind of complaint?" "Elder financial abuse, forgery, fraud. We've been reviewing the evidence on your website. We'd like you to come in and give a statement." "I don't want to press charges." "You don't have to. The state can prosecute even if the victim doesn't cooperate, but it would help to have your testimony." I thought about Tyler, about Jessica, about the baby coming in 2 months. "What happens if I don't cooperate?" I asked. "We can still build a case. It'll just be harder. But Mr. Brennan, your son committed serious crimes. If we don't prosecute, he'll likely do this to someone else." She was right. "I'll think about it," I said. "Don't think too long. There's a statute of limitations." She hung up. I told Linda. She didn't hesitate. "You should testify. He's my son. He's a criminal. Linda. Rich, I know this is hard, but if you don't stop him now, he'll do this to someone else's father, someone who doesn't have the resources to fight back. Is that what you want? No. Then testify." I met Detective Mills the next week. She was younger than I expected, sharp, professional. She took my statement, asked questions, recorded everything. "This is a strong case," she said when we finished. "Your documentation is excellent." My wife did most of that. Thank her for me. Most victims don't have this level of evidence. It makes our job a lot easier. What happens now? We present to the DA. They decide whether to file charges. If they do, Tyler will be arrested. When? Could be weeks. Could be months. These things take time. I left the police station feeling sick. Linda was waiting in the parking lot. "How'd it go?" she asked. "Good. They think they have a case." "Good. Linda, our son is going to be arrested. Our son committed crimes. This is what happens." "What about the baby?" "What about it?" "They're due in 2 months. What if Tyler's in jail when the baby comes?" Then Jessica will have to manage on her own, like we did when Tyler was born, like millions of parents do. That's cold. No, that's consequences. We drove home in silence. That night, I dreamed about Tyler as a kid, the science fair volcano, his grin, the pride in his eyes. I woke up at 3 in the morning, sweating. Linda was awake too. "You okay?" she asked. "No." Second thoughts? 1,000 of them. She held my hand. "We're doing the right thing." "Are we?" "Yes." "How do you know?" "Because the alternative is letting him get away with it. And that's not right either." She was right. I knew she was right. But it didn't make it easier. February came. Still no word from the DA. Jessica had the baby, a boy, 7 pounds, 6 ounces. They named him something I never learned because no one told us. We found out from Jessica's Facebook page. A single photo. The baby's face blurred out. The caption just said, "Welcome to the world, little one." No mention of Tyler, no mention of grandparents. Linda looked at the photo for a long time. "You okay?" I asked. "Yeah, just thinking." "About what?" "About how that baby's going to grow up never knowing us, never knowing the truth about what his father did. Maybe that's for the best. Maybe." She closed the laptop. March came. The DA filed charges: fraud, forgery, elder financial abuse, 3 felony counts. Tyler was arrested at his home, processed, released on bail. His mugshot appeared in the local paper. People called, friends, family, asking if it was true. Linda told them yes, gave them the website link. Some people were supportive. Some thought we were monsters for turning in our own son. I stopped answering the phone. The trial was scheduled for June. Tyler's lawyer tried to negotiate a plea deal. The DA refused, said the case was too strong. They wanted jail time. Tyler called me, first time in months. "Dad, you have to drop this." "I can't. It's the state's case now. You can refuse to testify. Without you, they have no case." "They have plenty of case, documents, evidence, other witnesses." "Dad, please, I'm begging you. I have a son now, I can't go to prison." "You should have thought about that before you forged my signature. I made a mistake. People make mistakes." "This wasn't a mistake, this was a plan. Months of planning. You knew exactly what you were doing." "Dad, I'm testifying, Tyler, I'm sorry, but I am." He hung up. 2 weeks later, the plea deal came back on the table. Tyler's lawyer had convinced the DA to offer a deal. No jail time. 5 years probation, restitution, community service, a felony conviction on his record. The DA called me, asked what I thought. "Will he be able to hurt anyone else?" I asked. "Not easily. The conviction will follow him. Background checks, credit checks. He'll have a hard time getting people to trust him. Then I'm okay with it." Tyler took the deal. The sentencing was in April. We didn't go, but I read the transcript later. Tyler stood before the judge, apologized, said he was getting help, said he wanted to be a better father than he'd been a son. The judge wasn't impressed. "Mr. Brennan, you exploited your father's trust. You forged documents. You manipulated legal systems. This is not a minor mistake. This is a pattern of deception. I'm accepting this plea deal only because the victim has expressed a desire to move forward. But make no mistake, if you appear before me again, I will not be lenient." Tyler was sentenced. 5 years probation, $120,000 in restitution, 500 hours of community service. The felony conviction would stay on his record forever. We got a check 3 months later, the first restitution payment, $5,000. Linda deposited it without comment. Life moved on. Tyler and Jessica moved to another state. Arizona, someone said. Fresh start, new beginning. We never heard from them. The website stayed up. Linda refused to take it down. "Someone needs to know," she said. "Who?" "Anyone who searches his name. Anyone thinking about doing business with him. They deserve to know who he really is." I didn't argue. Summer came. Hot, long. I retired in July. Linda kept working. We talked about traveling, seeing the country, doing things we'd always put off. One day we were sitting on the porch, drinking iced tea, not talking. Linda's phone buzzed. She looked at it, frowned. "What is it?" I asked. "Message request on Facebook from someone named Amanda Brennan." "Who's that?" She opened it, read, then showed me. The message said, "Hi, you don't know me, but I'm Tyler's sister-in-law, Jessica's sister. I just wanted to reach out and say thank you. For the website, for standing up to him. Tyler did the same thing to our family 2 years ago. We had no proof, no way to fight back. We thought we were alone. Your website helped us realize we weren't crazy. It helped us heal. I know this probably doesn't mean much to you, but thank you." Linda stared at the message. Then she started crying. Not sad crying. Something else. "You okay?" I asked. "Yeah, I didn't think it mattered. The website, the fight, all of it. I thought we were just being vindictive. And now? Now I know we did the right thing." She wrote back to Amanda. They exchanged messages, stories, details. Turned out Tyler had done the same thing to Jessica's parents. Forged signatures, stolen money. Gaslit them into thinking they were misremembering things. He'd learned from that experience. Gotten better at it. Used what he'd learned on us. But Amanda's family hadn't fought back. They'd been too embarrassed, too ashamed. They'd just walked away. Until they saw our website. Saw that we'd fought. Saw that it was possible to stand up to him. Now they were considering reopening their case. Linda helped them. Sent them documents, templates, advice. Within a month, they'd filed their own lawsuit against Tyler. He couldn't afford to fight it. He settled. Quietly. Paid them back. Another check. Another defeat. Tyler's fresh start was looking less fresh. And I felt nothing. No satisfaction, no regret. Just the quiet knowledge that we'd done what we had to do. And that was enough.